And now, another episode of MMA Gossip with your boys.
Boom. We're live, baby. MMA Gossip episode number 38. We look like losers with all of our hats backwards, but what can we do? Because when it's forwards, the light gets all messed up. We're working on green screens and the whole nine, boys. We're trying to invest in the podcast. So invest in us and like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of our socials at MMA X Gossip. Sponsors, hit us up. As I say every episode, my beats from high school are falling apart. I'm 27 years old now, and I can't afford new headphones. So help the boys out. Anyway, with that being said, we will talk about who is the MMA GOAT. Not the UFC GOAT, not the whatever GOAT, the MMA GOAT. Could be any promotion, anytime. Boys will discuss. Khabib, UFC 254, Justin Gaethje, Robert Whitaker getting a win. Where does Cannonier go from here? Bellator 250, big fucking news, boys. And, then we'll just roll on. Mike's coming up with some new segments for the boys. The podcast is going to keep on rolling. MMA Gossip, episode number 38. Let's get it.
All right, let's get after it. Real quick recap of the UFC 254 this past week. Incredible performance by Khabib and Nurmagomedov. But, yeah, let's make a note of some really awesome performances. You know, Shavkat Rakhmonov, came in with hype, destroyed Alex Oliveira. Well done. Casey Kenny, 2-week turnaround, looked good in a close fight, but he definitely deserved that dub. Tuivasa, who gives a shit, knocked out Struve. Magomedov Goliath, kid making waves, man. I think this kid's going to be special. Knocks out Iwan Kutalaba cold. Not like any of us didn't see it coming. We said it for fucking 4 or 5 events in a row, but, beautiful job. Lauren Murphy destroys, what's that person's name from Ned's Declassified?
Shakirova. The Kazakhstanian. No, sorry, she's Uzbekistan. Rakhmonov is the Kazakhstan.
Regardless, Lauren Murphy did her thing. Hawes knocked out somebody that we'll never see again. Volkov destroyed Walt Harris. Hate to see it, but I mean, we all said that it was coming. Robert Whitaker. Where does Robert Whitaker go from here after a win? No one's expecting him to get another shot at the belt, but where does he go?
He's going to get a title shot. I mean,
I don't think he does. I think they're going to make him fight another time.
He beat Darren Till and he beat Jared Cannonier convincingly.
If Till wins, then Whitaker has to fight for the belt, because otherwise would they rematch them? And you know what I mean, like the last fight. But he has to fight for the belt. Like, dude, I was the first person that we were all saying he got chinny. You know what I mean? How could you not, if those wars with Rio Romero and stuff? But he looked fucking good, dude. The only person that hit the fucking deck was Cannonier. So props to fucking Whitaker, dude. He deserves a shot at the belt again. Like, I mean, he's got to get it. You know what I mean? He has to get it. We'll see.
Who else would you have him fight? I guess Hermanson just got fucking flatlined. What was more recent? Cannonier getting flatlined or Kelvin?
No.
No.
The Joker just won. He just submitted Gastelum, and if he gets by Till, I think he gets it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, listen, Dana White is
I would be down for Whitaker.
That would be cool too, yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like it's all about business, and they want Izzy to get the high-profile fights, So I think that Izzy wanted to get Cannonier. That's obviously not going to happen. If Hermanson wins, I think Hermanson's a fresh face. He steps in there. It seems it's very unlikely.
John
History. Yeah, that's probably more plausible in my opinion. History has proven that if you lose a title fight, if you're the champion and you lose the belt, it's hard to get that rematch. Especially if it's not immediate.
Unless
right?
your name's Cody Garbrandt.
Unless your name's Cody Garbrandt. So, and Robert Whitaker, fan favorite. Everybody loves him, but I don't know. That's my personal opinion. I could be dead wrong.
I think that I said it last week, but I think that Cannonier it was basically like the narrative going into the fight was that if Cannonier wins, title shot. And I said Whitaker was going to fucking put an end to that. That's why he was my underdog pick of the week, boys. But when there's fights like that, so why doesn't Whitaker get the title shot? What are they, number 1 and 2 in the fucking division? And he fucking won. Title shot.
Cannonier dropped from
him
and Costa swapped. Hermanson and Izzy, I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that'd be an interesting fight. Just obviously, like Mike said, it's a fresher face. Like, that's why no one's talking about Whitaker's, because no one really wants to see it. I hate to say it. I love Whitaker. You're going to probably get the same fucking outcome.
Yeah. Maybe Whitaker against Costa.
Maybe,
I like
but
that.
if Whitaker wants to stay active, when could cost a fight again?
As soon as he wants, I guess. Maybe he'll go to sleep again, but who knows?
Yeah. Didn't he get hurt though? Didn't he say he had an injury going into that, or is that just bullshit?
I mean, yeah. When you get finished like that after talking all that shit, I guess an injury is the easiest excuse there is.
That's very fair, but we'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to either one. I just don't want to see Whitaker get fucking drilled again.
I mean, yeah, nobody really does. I mean, like I said, he's a fan favorite. No one likes to see the fan favorites get like flatlined. But with that being said, let's transition to the main event. And then with this main event talk about the fight, let's automatically start talking about the GOAT conversation. So Khabib dominates Gaethje in a way that nobody saw coming. Maybe a few people, but I feel like the majority of the people thought it would be a little bit closer than it was, especially because of his wrestling background. I mean, Dustin Poirier had a better showing against Khabib. Conor McGregor had a better showing against Khabib, and their wrestling is virtually not even close to the credentials that Gaethje has, and it was just more lopsided. So what do you guys think about the performance, and where does Khabib stand in your GOAT conversation?
He's still a faggot, honestly.
Dude, Matt, you're an idiot, dude.
I mean,
dude, he's fucking amazing.
Really good. He's really good, but the jury's still out. This win was so fucking impressive still. Honestly, like the way he transitioned, and it was ridiculous. But I thought Justin, I don't know how two judges gave him the first round. He looked like shit in that first round. I mean, he landed a couple big overhands, but that round goes on 10 more seconds. Khabib's going to finish that armbar. I don't know how we won that first round. It's not Chris, I think you said it. You said something like you felt like Gaethje wasn't defending, he was reacting or something like that.
He wasn't acting, he was reacting.
Yeah, exactly. He just I don't know. It was weird. Like every time Khabib went for a takedown or like faked it, he didn't like the way he defended it looked weird to me. Like he was almost like he was running too much. Just to get an adrenaline dump, honestly. In that first round, he was huffing and puffing. After that first round, I was like, this is a fucking wrap, dude. He could not deal with Khabib's pressure. And it's not what I expected at all.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Gaethje was going to put up a lot tougher test. You know what I mean? The one thing I did, asterisk it by was, yes, Gaethje has that college wrestling pedigree, but we've never seen it tested. So it could have been, didn't transition to MMA well, apparently. Or is it that Khabib is that fucking good? You know what I mean? So probably a combination of both, honestly. But, yeah, man, Khabib is fucking up there. Props to him on retirement. The GOAT conversation, I would put, so you know me, I say it all the fucking time. I've been saying it, but it's obviously subject to change. I think the GOAT is GSP inside and outside of the cage. He beat every opponent he ever faced. He lost 2 fights to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra, avenged both of those losses in absolute dominant fashion. He dominated everyone everywhere. He never wrestled prior to MMA training, had no wrestling background, and was basically the best wrestler of all time, bar maybe Khabib, obviously. And he just defended the belt. I think he won 13 title fights, 2 division champion, coming back and beating Bisping after his layoff and stuff. And now people are saying he could come back and the fight would be competitive against Khabib at 155. That would be his 3rd division. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. So, and he did it right. No steroid accusations, no none of that. And then second is either Jones or Anderson. Anderson, because of, his 16-fight win streak and the fucking level of competition he was fighting was through the moon. I think that's why I put Khabib 4th. So Jones is undefeated. Matt Hamill didn't fucking beat him. He got disqualified in a fight that Jones was dominating, right? So him and Khabib are both undefeated. But honestly, I have to side with Jones. He did fight better competition than Khabib did. Khabib, as of recently, and after these past performances, I think if Khabib fought 2 or 3 more times, he could pretty much be number 1. But I'm happy to see him retire. You know what I mean? Especially, I believe him. This isn't one of those MMA retirements like, they retire 4 times, they retire, come back in 6 months. I think
especially with his culture, dude.
I think Khabib is really retired. He promised his mom, his dad's gone. I think he really, really is going to fucking retire, and good for him. And then I know people put Fedor in there. He fought fucking mailmen. But Fedor, I mean, he is, like, you got to respect him for the time. He was the best at the time, but times fucking change. And, The other thing I think that hinders Anderson is that he's still fucking around. He's 45 years old. He's the main event. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But like losing to guys like Uriah Hall and Jared Cannonier and Derek Brunson, it's just like, oh no, Derek, he won. He won.
I mean, yeah, unfortunately.
But that hurts him overall, you know, because you have those images still in your head. Like, this is basically like, the way I look at it is, if Anderson retired after he broke his leg against Weidman, would you consider him the best of all time? And you'd probably say yes. You know what I mean? It's just that you have to take these fights up to 45 into account. So I think any combination of GSP, Jones, Anderson, Khabib, Fedor, and if you want to throw in fucking Mighty Mouse, those are 6. And maybe I'm missing someone, but I think those are the best 6 ever, and whatever the fuck way you want to put them. Everyone has an argument, and no one's fucking wrong.
I think I would personally.
Matt, before you go, I want no. You're gonna go right after me, but I have a question, because this is actually part of my take it or leave it segment that's later on. So you are claiming that GSP is at the top, okay, followed by John Jones / Anderson Silva, correct? So my question for you is, of these 3 categories, which do you weigh heavily? Your dominance in terms of your wins, like how dominant were you in your wins, PED usage and accusations, and number 3, amount of title defenses. Because you can make the argument, well, Khabib was the most dominant in his wins. However, GSP had the most defenses. And then you could say, like, oh, GSP didn't have the accusations, but Jones did. I mean, like, obviously this is the most subjective conversation you can possibly have, especially when you have such amazing athletes at the top. So what do you weigh the most out of those 3 things? Dominance, which is Khabib's, and then you got PED, which is obviously John Jones and Anderson Silva. But then you have the title defenses consecutively, which obviously GSP and John Jones and Anderson Silva have a ridiculous amount, which Khabib doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what do you weigh the most?
I think the number of title defenses really, like, their reign overall, because GSP was pretty fucking dominant in his reign. You know, either going 5 fucking rounds and winning 50-45s, or, you know what I mean? Like, or avenging his losses to Matt Hughes and Matt Serra in dominant fucking fashion, going up a weight class and choking out Michael Bisping unconscious after a 4-year layoff. Like, that's pretty dominant, and that's a long fucking span. You also got to give it to John Jones, because John Jones's reign, he did it over multiple – what's the word? Not decades. Obviously, it wasn't decades, but I'm saying multiple classes of fighters, you know, different times. He adjusted to the times, beating Shogun when Shogun was in his fucking prime, and John Jones is a kid, basically, comes out and does that, and then still comes out and defends against Dominic Reyes, who's basically like a new age type of fighter, you know what I mean? So that was a long span. Anderson, the way he was doing it was absolutely dominant too, and over a long span. And then Khabib is the most dominant, but the shortest span. So I still, and no accusations on Khabib's end or GSP's, and GSP was the one pushing for harsher, stricter, and more often getting drug tested. So you know that motherfucker was clean. You know what I mean? And Jones has a blip on the, you know, a couple blips on the radar, and Anderson flat out took steroids. But that's also a different time. But GSP fought at that fucking time and was doing it clean. So he was, you know, he showed that you could do it. So maybe I'm biased because I think GSP's the GOAT, and I'm just further cementing my decision. But I think that GSP dominance, duration, and just in and outside of the cage, you know, first guy wearing suits to press conferences, the whole 9. Like, he did it the right fucking way. It's like Derek Jeter, you know what I mean? He just did it the right fucking way for the longest period of time.
Yeah, so it's good I went last, because my answer actually follows up with Mike's question. I think Khabib actually is the GOAT because of how dominant he was. Like, would he lose? I mean, one round against Conor, and I guess technically this past round against Gaethje, according to 2 scorecards, like, no one's ever really fucking come remotely close to threatening him, like, at all. Like, he's never been put in a tough spot. Not that I could fucking think of, like, not fucking once. And against guys that are all very, very good. Edson Barbosa, Al Quinta, Conor McGregor, Michael Johnson, Dos Anjos, Poirier, Gaethje. I know it's not, and like Chris said, it's true, not nearly as long as other guys, but in my opinion, 5% chance that he comes back. All right, so this is another way I could look at it. Like, if Khabib fights again, John Jones fights again. I'll just use those two because they're actually in their prime and still relevant. I would be more concerned with Jones losing than Khabib. Like, I do not see anybody beating Khabib right now where I think there's matchups where Jones would actually have a problem. Like, even if he moved up to heavyweight. Khabib, I really don't think he would – if he fought like 2-3 more times or just even one more for the whole 30-0, I don't think he's going to fucking lose. Like, there's nobody. And it's not even that these guys aren't good. 155 is a fucking Shark Tank. He's just that much better. And it's I think Khabib's the GOAT. And you know, guys, how much I fucking hate Khabib. I wanted him to lose against everybody so bad. So the fact that I'm saying it, I'm completely fucking unbiased.
I feel you. What about you, Mike? What do you think? You're asking the questions here. Let's ask the interviewer.
I think that if John Jones goes up to heavyweight and challenges for the belt and gets it, I think he's undoubtedly the best. Because I put more weight at winning the heavier. I don't know. I mean, I
was going to say that to Matt.
Maybe I'm old school like that, but I think if John wins the light heavyweight belt, defended it for X amount of times, and then moves up and wins the heavyweight belt, I think that holds more weight than GSP winning at 170 and then going up to 185 and winning it. That's just me. Heavier guys, more volatility, more variance, But as of right now, I think the recency bias has me thinking it's Khabib, but I don't know. I kind of side with GSP in terms of having that clean slate, avenging his 2 losses and his entire title reign, and then getting the 185-pound belt. It just seems like such a perfect career, And
he's a pimp.
He's awesome, and everybody loves him.
I would have him as 2.
Everybody loves him. Everybody should love him. There's really no reason to hate him.
Jones at 2 because I think he lost to Reyes.
Yeah. Well, again, it's subjective at its finest. So, as of right now, I would say it is GSP. Asterisk, if Jones gets that heavyweight strap, he is the best of all time. I don't give a shit about the PEDs right now. Yeah. That's how I feel. So
honestly, I contradict myself a lot with the PEDs. I want to get this out there on record for when we blow the fuck up and people start talking shit about me. I weigh that, like, so GSP did it clean. Like, I know Michael Bisping is like a huge stickler for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I fucking get it. Like, these dudes are going to training every single day. Like, I'm going to jiu-jitsu after this. I got bruises. It looks like I do fucking heroin and stuff. You know what I mean? I work a desk job and I sit here all day and I fucking wake up in the morning. I'm like, could barely fucking walk. You know what I mean? So I get that these dudes, sometimes they need a little something extra. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at it. And I think there's a whole era, like the whole Anderson Silva title reign. Everyone was taking steroids, just like baseball. All the fucking home run hitters were taking steroids, but so were the fucking pitchers. You know what I mean? So it's like an even field. So, like, I don't really give a fuck about all that. But now that USADA's here, now it's like a different era. And you have the best training, the best recovery, the best everything. You know, instead of fucking taking steroids, go in the fucking cryo chamber and fucking recover. You know what I mean? So now I weight a little bit more heavily.
One thing on that, just so I get my opinion out there. I think I'm with Nate Diaz. Everybody's on
steroids. Yeah.
In some capacity. You cannot train that hard and that long 3 times a day, grappling in the morning, cardio in the afternoon, striking in the evening, every day for X amount of time, and then cut weight and then fight at your optimal performance without some sort of assistance. Okay. And hey, I'm making accusations. But at the end of the day, there are drugs that go under the USADA radar.
I know that.
Perfect. Yeah,
I've been know that. Nick Diaz. I've been know that.
So that's why I don't put the PED usage in terms of tarnishing the greatest of all time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, cool. That's my stance.
That's my dad's favorite quote. All you motherfuckers are on steroids.
My dad says it too.
Usman doesn't look like that by accident.
Right, dude. Look at fucking Rodolfo Vieira. Dude, that guy is on all the steroids, bro.
Well, all those jiu-jitsu guys, like, that's
what does Rogan say? Visit the Mexican pharmacist or whatever.
Yeah. Dude. And all these casuals that are just like USADA. I'm like, listen, USADA is just a word, bro.
I have McGregor in my top 5 for GOATs.
No, you don't.
No.
I have him at 5.
Matt, go take another toke.
Matt, let me hear the top 5. Go, just real quick. Run it down.
Khabib, GSP, John Jones, Silva, McGregor.
You're a fucking idiot. All right.
Wait, one more question. It's random, but we were talking about Jones. Who would you be more impressed with him being at heavyweight, Stipe or Ngannou?
Stipe.
Really?
100%.
Say the question one more time.
Who would you be more impressed with Jones beating, Stipe or Francis?
I guess Stipe's more battle tested, so I pick him.
And
But-
he won head to head. Just beat DC. He beat DC twice out of 3, and he is the champ. He set the record for most title defenses. Ngannou hasn't touched that belt yet. And that's the one thing, Matt. Just to go back to what Mike said, the heavier weight class, like you said, who would I be more nervous about, Khabib or John Jones? It's like, okay, well, John Jones, greatest fighter of all time, goes in there and gets fucking flash knocked out by Francis Ngannou. It's like, oh, he sucks now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas no one's fucking putting people out like that, like at 55. But anyway, transitioning from the GOAT conversation, one of the GOATs, doesn't matter where the fuck you put him, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, somewhere in there, is fighting this weekend. And Anderson Silva is taking on Uriah Hall, who was supposed to be the next Anderson Silva, and kind of was a dud.
Uriah dropped the ball, Hall.
He's got some weird performances in the cage, dude. I don't know. Sometimes he shows up like Gegard Mousasi, and then sometimes he just fucking doesn't.
Yeah.
Bro, he showed up against Paulo Costa for 2 rounds.
Yeah, he actually looked good against Paulo Costa for a little while, but it's all mental with him, man. It's always been mental with him. Everyone thought he was going to be the next big thing when he came out of the Ultimate Fighter. He pretty much killed that guy in the cage, and then he goes out there and loses to Gastelum, and then from there henceforth it's just been an up and down roller coaster. So I have to side with Hall in this fight, but believe me, I'm going to be rooting my ass off for Anderson Silva to win this fucking fight, man.
Yo, Mike, do you want to do that odds thing this weekend? Because I on my honor, I have not looked at any odds this weekend. I don't know anything. Have not
You don't know
looked.
the odds right now for any of the fights?
Only Bryce Mitchell and Feely because we talked about it in the chat. Outside of that, I don't know shit.
Okay, I got a couple I can ask. If you got Chris, did you look at the odds yet?
No.
All right, cool.
I mean, I don't really look at like you two would definitely look at it way more than me. I usually look at it for podcast purposes because I don't fucking bet on these because I just might as well direct deposit.
Oh, just go. Speaking of betting, I was obviously, you guys know, betting wise, I was 10 for 12 this past weekend, and I was hitting like props the whole time too, like round by finish, like the type of finish, whatever. I took everything that was up and also put that on Gaethje. Yeah. Yeah, dude. The payout was like it was over $3,000, but obviously that doesn't fucking matter now. But anyway, continue.
Obviously, it doesn't fucking matter. Dude, I'm the worst because so this week I swept the fucking card and I don't bet anything, and then next week I'll be like this week coming up seems like easy.
Well, in our defenses, every favorite won
this week. Except Whitaker.
Well, except Whitaker. But that line was like even, but every favorite one.
Yeah. This week coming up, actually, Mike, now that you did say it, I read, but I didn't look at the lines, but I did read and I saw that this week a lot of the lines are wide.
They are. So yeah. I'm interested to hear you guys' guesses. I have like 2 or 3 that we'll talk about. I'm sure you'll be a little surprised. So let's just talk about Hall and Anderson real quick. Who do you guys think wins and how? Because I just want to tell you now that the line to go for the fight to go the distance is -120. So the odds makers think it's going to go the distance, which is pretty crazy. So who wins and how?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was a bit of a Adesanya type point fight given the style of Hall. So the go the distance kind of makes sense to me unless Hall really catches him. But I don't really see Hall being anywhere. I don't see him being more aggressive than Izzy was. And just like a respect factor too, in a weird way. Like if I'm Uriah Hall, I mean, I don't know. We met him on a subway. He's a really nice fucking guy. I don't know. Do you think he doesn't want to go in there and put Silva out and have him leave the fucking octagon unconscious? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it.
Exactly what I would want to do.
Uriah Hall's probably overthinking it himself.
Yeah, exactly. So like the fight to go the distance makes sense to me, but I am definitely going to favor Hall. It would be cool to see Silva catch him. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I mean, like we just said, man, Hall could have a brain fart. He seems to. every once in a while, and this seems like the perfect spot for one. So I'm going to go Silva, but with my heart, but my brain says Hall.
Yeah, same here. I don't need to repeat what Matt just said. And that's just the way it seems like it's going. I did see the odds in this fight. I saw that Hall is like 2.5 to 1, or at least 2 to 1. So it's like, damn, dude, that sucked. But Anderson Silva's 45 fucking years old. You know what I mean? And his legs seem to be not holding up at all anymore. So I mean, maybe Hall will come out and attack those. We see. I saw what's it? Die Hard MMA tweeted out that Hall inside the distance is like plus 170 or plus 175. I think it was him that said that. I was like, oh shit, that's pretty interesting. So shout out to him for that. But yeah, I just see him winning 5 rounds though. It is kind of crazy. Anderson Silva, his chin has held up well overall, obviously against Weidman didn't hold up that fucking well, but since then, I mean, his chin's held up well and his reaction time is still pretty good for 45 years old. We'll see. I really hope this is his last fight. And though I know he's already saying it's not going to be, like, I don't want to see him tarnish his legacy anymore. So hopefully he can pull out a win. But you guys know as well as I do, as well as anyone that loves MMA, the MMA gods are unforgiving and it's a cruel, cruel world. And he'll most likely go out in a fucking stretcher.
Yeah. And before we transition to Bellator, let's make a quick pick. Bryce Mitchell, minus 150 against Andre Fili, plus 125. First of all, I think the odds are a little strange. For Bryce Mitchell to have a favorite over a veteran like Fili after, his best win is what arguably Matt Sales or Charles Rosa. Crazy. But real quick, picks. You guys picking Fili or, up-and-comer camo shorts for Bryce Mitchell?
I'm going Bryce Mitchell, man. I'm all aboard the fucking hype train. I think he's so sick. I love his style. And I kind of think they're using Fili a little bit here as to bump up Mitchell. I don't think either of you guys would really argue that either. I think Bryce Mitchell's on a tear right now, and he's finally getting like a really recognizable name. I mean, I know his his competition really isn't the greatest. I mean, he just beat Charles Rosa, who's basically a no name if you don't follow the sport like we do. And before that, Bobby Moffitt and Matt. Whatever. I'm not going to try to say his name because I'm
Sales. I just said it.
That's it.
Okay, but yeah, man, I'm going to go Mitchell here. I'm all about him.
All right, dude, I'm with you on that for a couple reasons. I do think that they're trying to springboard him, although I think the odds are a little wacky. I think they're slowly coming back to earth. Wasn't he like almost 2 to 1 at one point?
Yeah, almost.
You said, Mike, and I think they're coming back down, closing in a little bit, coming back to reality. But I do think they're trying to use Andre Fili to springboard Bryce Mitchell a little bit because Fili does get taken down a good amount. Even though he's got a good wrestling pedigree, he does get taken down. All those alpha male guys have fucking good wrestling pedigrees, but he does get taken down. But, I mean, dude, he's battle tested. He's fought guys like he fought Max Holloway, Yair Rodriguez. Like, Charles Jourdain coming off a win, but he's fighting good fucking competition, stiff competition, and he's still fucking hanging in there. He's got like at least 20 fights in the UFC. So I think this is kind of the time where they're trying to see like how good is Bryce Mitchell. And the UFC is, better. That's why they're the UFC. They match make better than anyone. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I know Dana White's been tweeting at Bryce Mitchell, posted a commercial he did on his page. They got him the camo shorts. They kind of been pumping him, putting him in the co-main spot here. So I feel like it is built up for him to win. But if he lost, I'd be like, well, that hype train got derailed pretty quick. You know what I mean? Like, I think Andre Fili could definitely play spoiler here, and there's no pressure on him. I think all the pressure is on Bryce Mitchell in this spot.
Word. I'm on Fili. I'm gonna go for the vet here until I see it from Bryce. I mean, I've seen it against Charles Rosa, but until I see it against Fili, I'm not going to put the stock into him yet. So we shall see. All right, Chrissy Bellator, bring us through this Thursday's card. It's nice.
So,
Mike, did you want to do that odds thing or fuck it?
Well, I'll do it after this.
Okay.
So, I just want to pull this up too. A couple things of note. Bellator released 30 fighters from their roster last night. So before we get into Bellator 50, a couple fighters that are no longer with Bellator, Frank Mir and Roy Nelson, which, okay, whatever.
Good.
No one's really crying about that. Joe Warren, kind of shocking, Bellator staple. Joe Schilling as well. Pedro Cavallo, I thought that was one of the most surprising out of all of them. Ricky Bandejas really surprised me because he's a, New Jersey guy. I could see him totally coming to the UFC. They could hype up that fucking James Gallagher KO, and especially now.
He's not a bit of a skid, right?
Yeah, he is, but he's fighting like He lost to fucking what's his name, Patchy. He lost to Juan Archuleta, and he lost to Sergio Pettis. So he's losing a fucking good competition. He's good. So we'll see. Derek Campos, another Bellator fucking staple. He was in the featherweight tournament. He lost, and they let him go. Chris Lencioni, I'm pretty sure he's the one that just beat AJ Agazarm, and AJ Agazarm, both of them both got the fucking boot. AJ Agazarm is not good at MMA at all, but he's got a very recognizable name, boys, the Diaz brothers, so maybe the UFC picks him up and puts him on a short notice fucking fight. We'll see. Mike Kimball was a really hyped Bellator prospect, shredded, little afro going on. Boys with Nick Newell from Connecticut, like, talked a big game. McGregor gave him a shout out after his first professional win in Bellator, and then he lost fucking 2 or 3 in a row, and Bellator fucking said peace to him. And then a couple other down the line. No one else really of note, but 30 fighters off the Bellator roster is pretty, that shows that times are hurting everyone. But what were you gonna say, Matt?
I'm really interested to see, especially given, because obviously the UFC is pumping out a lot more cards than Bellator is right now, right? So that could be part of the reason. I'm wondering how many of these guys UFC just, like, even the AJs of the world, they just give them like a short notice fight and just start picking them up. Like, I'm really, like, after like a year, maybe even end of this year, I'd like to see how many of those guys will fight or have a schedule to fight.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Awesome, dude. I think that'd be really cool.
I agree. And that brings us to Bellator 250 going down in Uncasville, Connecticut, Mohegan Sun Arena, Bellator's favorite place to be, other than Thackersville, fucking Oklahoma. That's their fucking number 2. But anyway, it's going down Thursday. I fucking love the Thursday cards. We spoke about this last week. You guys said you like them as well. 5:15 p.m. prelims are going down. It's so good. You sign off work, you lay on the fucking couch, drink a couple beers, and watch the fights. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it. That's tomorrow. Holy shit, today's Wednesday. Let's go. Anyway, it is Diego Lima taking on, or Douglas Lima rather, not Diego. That's his brother who fought in the UFC, who's poopy. Douglas Lima taking on Gegard Mousasi, another ex-UFC vet, for the vacant middleweight title. It was Rafael Lovato was another person on that list of the 30 fighters, but obviously he's not on the list anymore due to his retirement. So they're going in the main event. You guys have any takes? Who's your pick for that?
Lima.
You guys are both on Lima?
Yeah, did you see the weigh-ins? Yo, Lima's looking thick sauce.
He is.
Looks a little bigger than Mousasi.
I thought so too. I just think that Mousasi's way to victory is kind of what he did to Rory, what Rory did to Lima. Just kind of take him down, control him on the ground, and work from there, which if Rory could do, Gegard can definitely do. Gegard fought fucking Mark Hunt, for God's sakes. And Lima is like a middleweight though. You know, he's a big fucking welterweight. Right now, I think that Mousasi is going to win, but, Mousasi's had some weird performances in the past, Lovato being one of them. So we'll see, but I'm definitely rooting for Douglas Lima 100%. Co-main event, it's a banger. Henry Corrales taking on Brandon Gertz. Brandon Gertz, the weigh-ins today, kind of got into it with Mike Mazzulli, the commissioner, and he said he weighed 146, and he says, take your fucking pants off, weigh in again. He goes, why? I weighed 146. And Mazzulli says, no, it was 146 and a quarter. And they got into a heated argument, and I think Mazzulli is way out of fucking line for what he was saying. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you only have an attitude because you're cutting weight. Yeah, dude, shut the fuck up. He is cutting weight. You know what I mean? Who the fuck are you? And, like, people like that, like, dude, that's the ideal dude to get knocked out. You know what I mean? Brandon Gertz should just punch him in his fucking face. And then what do we say? Mazzulli was feeling. Anyway, Henry Corrales, another Bellator staple. In his early 30s, he kind of got some notoriety after viciously KOing Aaron Pico. He was one of the people that Bellator matched Aaron Pico up against a little too fucking fast. So Henry Corrales has some pop on his punches. He's taking on Brandon Gertz, who is typically a 55er. He's fought the likes of Michael Chandler and Derek Campos, among other guys, and another Bellator staple here. This is a Bellator banger in the co-main event. I didn't look at the odds for this, but I imagine Henry Corrales is probably a little bit of a favorite.
Minus 320.
There you go. He's been on Brandon Gertz has been a little bit of a rough skid towards the end of his career, but again, he's fighting fucking guys like Michael Chandler, so not really too much shame there. A couple fights of note on the card. Loser Jack Swagger is taking on, after looking down and read his opponent's name, Brandon Coulter.
Local fry cook.
Local fry cook literally has 2 professional MMA fights. He's 2-0. I looked at his opponents. It is a regional MMA show in Tennessee, and his opponents have a combined 2-7 record. One of his opponents being 2-2, and his other opponent being 0-5.
In the parking lot of a fucking titty bar.
Literally, dude. Yeah, his MMA experience is bar fights. So he's going to get taken down and submitted, basically, is what's going to happen.
Here's minus 530.
And we'll see if Hager fucking doesn't let go of a choke again like a scumbag. Saba Homasi taking on Bobby Volker, which is – it's going to be a banger. That fight, there probably isn't even odds out on that fight, but that fight is not going the distance. Those guys are –
minus 335.
Homasi is?
Yeah, Mike, I'm not scrolling down. I don't know the odds.
Do not scroll down.
I'm not.
So he Volker's a UFC vet. I think he's like in his 40s. He sucks. And Homasi just isn't good either. So they both have a bunch of knockout losses on their record, and that's how I foresee this going. Nick Newell's back, baby. He's taking on Zach Zane in a lightweight fight. Zach Zane is not good. Nick Newell probably is a big fucking favorite. Zach Zane's got losses to –
245.
How big?
245.
245?
Yeah.
Yeah, I foresaw that. Zach Zane recently just lost to Max Roshkoff, who quit inside the octagon, and has lost the likes of Chris Avila. You guys know Chris Avila from losing to the likes of Artem Lobov. So that's what you got there. Bellator giving Nick Newell a little bit of a favorable matchup. And one more of note is Adam Borics taking on Eric Sanchez. I think this is a great fight for Adam Borics. Adam Borics was also in the featherweight Grand Prix until he took his first professional loss to Darion Caldwell. He got submitted against the cage, but that's Darion Caldwell's fucking specialty. He's a wrestler through and through, and Borics simply got caught. I'm pretty positive he trains at Sanford MMA with Henry Hooft and those guys. So, he's a beast, and Eric Sanchez is, although battle-tested, not that great. So I definitely see Adam Borics winning. Is there a line on that one?
Yep, it is. Hold on, I got off the page. One sec. Adam Borics minus 460.
There you go. So I got to give myself props. I just called all those belts. Granted, they're all sizable favorites, but just reading down the list, I can tell you who's going to be a favorite in Bellator. And that's usually how Bellator goes.
Lima's an underdog. We both said we liked him.
Yeah, Lima's an underdog for sure. For sure. I mean, he's going up a weight class. You know what I mean? I feel like anytime you go up a weight class, you kind of have to be giving up that size right off the bat. But, yeah, that's going down 5:15 p.m. Prelims, main card, 8 p.m. Let's fucking get it.
All right, guys, you ready? Let's do a couple quick crazy odds, okay? I want you to tell me where you think the line opened up, or essentially where it is right now, because there really hasn't been too much line movement. So, first one I think is pretty crazy. Thiago Moyeses versus Bobby King Green. Bobby King Green's fourth fight, I think, this year. Real quick reminder, Thiago Moyeses was a minus 200 over Jalen Turner not long ago, before Moyeses had COVID. Where do you think this line is right now? Bobby Green versus Thiago Moyeses.
Bobby Green minus 225.
Chris?
Bobby Green's got to be a nice fit. I can see him definitely being a big favor. He's on a run. No crowd's doing him favor. Minus, you're saying this is a wacky line? So you guys,
when you compare it to Jalen Turner versus Thiago Moyeses' line?
Yeah, I'd say 2-1.
It's 3-1.
Holy shit. I was going to say like minus 190.
I mean, dude, I kind of agree with it because outside of Michael Johnson, who's allergic to fucking wrestling, he's fought nobody. And Bobby Green low-key has really, really, really good fucking takedown defense and very good wrestling chops of his own. So I think Bobby Green kind of just picks him apart on the feet. I think Moises' stand-up is stiff as a fucking board.
It is.
Fair enough. All right, another one. You guys remember Gutzmacher. He hasn't been around in a while, but he's
so ugly.
Anyway, he's going up against Alexander the Great Hernandez, and Gutzmacher's coming off a 2.5-year layoff.
Looks like a frog.
What do you think this line is? Alexander's coming off that knockout loss to Drew Dober not too long ago. Before that, it was a questionable win over Francisco Trinaldo, and before that was when he got KO'd by Donald Cowboy Cerrone. So where do you think this line is?
I think he's got to be like minus 330.
I was going to say 350. Dude, I think the UFC is giving this fight solely to people like him, and they want to get him back on track, and they said, all right, Here's a dying animal. Go fucking finish it off.
Minus 400.
Right,
Jeez, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'll take
I was pushing it with 330 because you said wacky odds. I would have said like at least 250, but because you said wacky, I went even higher.
All right, one more. Sean Strickland. Hold on 1 second. Can you get my charger to my backpack? Yeah. Lisa, manager Lisa. Last one. Sean Strickland coming off a 2.5-year layoff. He had a motorcycle accident going up against Jack Marshman.
Oh my God, if Jack Marshman loses, he's getting cut from the UFC.
Yeah,
he's
that's
Strickland's got to be like minus 300.
Minus 340. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 300.
All right, guys. Let's get to this really fun segment. All right, real quick. First one. It's called Take It or Leave It. So you have to respond with the words I take it or I leave it, and then you have to follow up with whatever.
Let's get it. I'm excited.
So I have a bold take. It's not necessarily my take. It's a subjective sentence that you guys have to either take it or leave it. So the first one is Douglas Lima is the Bellator GOAT if he beats Gegard Mousasi on Thursday tomorrow.
I know my answer.
Dude, that's tough. Fuck. I'm gonna say take it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say leave it. I think that Michael Chandler has a good
That's who I was thinking.
resume, and the best resume I think is Patricio Pitbull. He's the first ever Bellator double champ. I mean, Michael Chandler, if you're counting what he could do in the UFC, if he was to win the UFC belt, then probably him. Eddie Alvarez has to be up there somewhere. But are you saying Bellator resume, best Bellator fighter ever?
Best fighter in the promotion history.
I think Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler, and Patricio Pitbull all have a claim to that.
Cool.
That's fun. I forgot about Eddie.
Word. All right, next one. This one's gonna tickle you guys.
Bader too, because what we said, he's got a short claim, double champ at light heavyweight and heavyweight too.
Very fair. Ali Abdelaziz is the most successful fighter manager in the history of mixed martial arts.
You can take it.
Yeah, I'll take it too.
Yeah, as much as we don't like him,
I like this a lot. This is cool.
He's the best. Okay, next one.
He has half the division champions.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, he's good.
He represents our boy, Phil Caracappa.
Yep. Fighting as often as Kevin Holland and Bobby Green as examples 4 times a year is beneficial to your overall fighting career. So fighting more often, as in terms of like 3 to 4 times a year, is way better for you than fighting 1 to 2 times a year or less.
That's a hard answer because it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I think like some people I feel like could fuel them and they can handle the extra work, and then some people it could be the detriment to their fucking career. I don't know. I feel like if you try it and it doesn't, like, I don't think there's a right answer, because if you try it and it doesn't work for you, your career could potentially end. If you try it and it works, you could be on a run that like Bobby Green's on. So I don't really know. It's tough.
I'm with you, Matt. Everything you just said, I totally agree with. I'll add that if you go on a run like that, you take it a few times in a row. For example, like Gilbert Burns, Dana White fucking loves that, and that could make your career. You know what I mean? Takes fucking big risks, big rewards. You know what I mean? So if you put in that time, you stay consistent, you win 4 in a row, you could potentially be from nowhere to title contention. Khamzat Chimaev, look at, you know what I mean? You could be in fucking title contention right away. So I'll take it, saying that more often is better. But then I also think that if you are on a little bit of a run and get brutally KO'd, or you lose a fight, come back and get brutally KO'd, then take fucking time off, and fighting once a year could be totally beneficial. But I'll say that 4 is better than 1 though, for sure.
I agree.
All right. Sugar Sean O'Malley still has the potential to become a UFC world champion one day.
Fucking leave it.
Yeah, I'm going to leave it too. I was aboard the hype train for sure, but I don't think he's too flashy. I think his jiu-jitsu is sneakily good, but I think that he's fought nobodies and hasn't put away. Like, if you're fighting Andrei Sukumtov, knock his ass out. You know what I mean? Like, put that fucking idiot away. Who else? Who was this first fight? What's his name? The little black dude, Eric Ware, whatever the fuck his name is. Terrion Ware. He's sucks. Put him away. You know what I mean? Like, these guys, you should be fit. And I say sucks while I lean back in my leather chair, my couch, fucking as a pussy. You know what I mean? So take it with a grain of salt. But I just think that he's not dominating who he should be dominating, although Eddie Wineland would fucking beg to differ. But, yeah, I just think that the guys at the top of the division, like, I would not favor him in any Petr Yan, Aljo, Marlon. No, that's what I'm saying. No. So leave it.
I don't think he'll ever want to be in a fucking battle. Like, he can't even take a leg kick, really. Like, that happened twice. I think, like Chris said, I think he's all flash. He's going to be great to watch. You could toss him on a main card, you know, potentially get a finish of the night. But outside of that, I just don't think he's dog enough.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Cody Garbrandt's new tattoo is fire.
I'm gonna take it.
Dude, his tattoo's horrible. The one he got on the back of his thigh is fire. The gorilla, the like yelling, is fire. And the one on his back, his new back tattoo, is dope. But his Kai, if that's what it says, because I can't fucking make out any of those letters. Dude, with that being said, I'll take it. No.
All right, this is the last one. Bryce Mitchell is voting for Donald J. Trump.
Take it.
Take it, dude. Hell yeah. He's shooting guns in his trailer in Alabama.
Bro, he showed up to vote with an assault rifle on his back and half a can of dip in his lip. And
dude,
flannel and camo pants.
The only one doing it better than Colby is fucking Mike Trezano. His video was so awesome.
Trump.
Or Chad Mendez. Who do you think? That was fucking amazing. Dude, I've been feeling more confident.
Did you see me and Chris were watching last night, the Nelk boys? They were, what's his name? Who is it? Steve?
Steve will do it. Yeah.
Steve had on a Woman for Trump shirt out on Fight Island. And he goes to Gaethje, who are you voting for? And he just goes, I like your shirt.
Amazing. All right, that's it, boys. I'll come up with more of these next time. That was fun.
Let's do it. Dude, I'm saying on air, but let's all be responsible and by next week have something like that. You know what I mean? Mike's been bringing the fire and I fucking appreciate it and they're fucking fun to do. Yeah. I wish like this is like one of those things where I wish there was more. Like I could do this for fucking an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I should have came up with more. I got one more off the top of my head. Last one, take it or leave it.
Oh, I got one after you.
Take it or leave it. Michael Chandler should have never got the replacement spot for Khabib and Gaethje.
I get why they did it because what are you going to do out in Fight Island? Cancel that fight?
No, I'll leave it only, but with the I guess stipulation, if that's the right word. But I think that they should have booked him in a fight, a more winnable fight. Like, they should have booked him against like not someone in the top 10, but definitely someone he could fucking beat. You know what I mean? Where you don't want to ruin his first fight in the UFC. But if they would have booked him in the co-main event, it would have made the card bigger and better, and he would have been there as a replacement because like he just went through that weight cut and went through all that for nothing. But it could be very good because coming from Bellator to like meeting just simple things like meeting people backstage that you never met before, new faces, learning the procedures, that can only help him going forward. So I'll leave it and say it was a good thing that they did it.
And that's it, boys.
I got one for you. So take it or leave it. McGregor and Poirier should be for the vacant belt.
Take it. And that actually leads me into what I was going to ask you guys next.
Should be or will be?
Ooh,
you said should.
I did say should. But that makes it
I'm
a whole
leaving
different.
it. I want Duke Bronx to get his due.
Bro, yeah. How fuck yeah.
I don't know. I
all
think
aboard, bro. All aboard.
But I don't think he should fucking get a title shot. I think that he should definitely fight like Hooker or Ferguson or something.
Dude, the fight they had for him, I think, was perfect.
Who was? Oh, it was what's his name?
The Canadian.
No, that's what I was thinking.
No, is he Canadian? No, I'm not thinking of somebody else. Fucking.
I thought he was supposed to fight fucking Diego Ferreira. Who was supposed to fight Diego Ferreira?
Hold on. Dude, it's
Drew Dober.
Oh, no, I thought Drew Dober was supposed to fight Ferreira, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. That's right.
All right, regardless, I just think that, Conor hasn't done anything in the lightweight division in so long. It's like to put it.
Yeah, I know.
Will he be there for the belt? Probably. But should he be fighting for the belt right away? Probably not.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Oh, it's Dariush.
Dariush,
That's right.
yeah.
I forgot about that. That's a good fight. That's a very winnable fight for him. But that's also winnable for
He's
Dariush.
fucking good, dude. It seems like he got over those mental humps and he's just on his fucking game, man. I want to see him fight again bad. He's a dark horse in that division.
I think Tony versus Dubronx would be
Sick.
I think Tony would maul him though. I think he really would. Dubronx folds.
I think
And
Dubronx.
He does have a history of folding. People who watched his entire career know that, but the newbies that have been watching his rise think that he's unbeatable.
Yeah.
He's been for a while, bro, and he's kind of been tested. I mean, granted, Kevin Lee hasn't been the hottest topic lately, but like past that with flying colors.
Yeah, and then before that got submitted by Anthony fucking Pettis.
Yeah.
At featherweight.
So, all right, real quick before we go, if we were going to go, I don't know if you got anything else. So, bounce it off what you just said, Chris. What do you think's next at 155? Do you think it is Conor and Poirier for the belt, or do you think Gaethje, since he said the good thing about getting submitted is you don't take any damage and he's ready to hop back in there? And Conor right now is the betting favorite to face Gaethje.
That's pretty wild. I honestly don't even care. I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it in a good way. Like McGregor, Poirier, Ferguson, Chandler, Gaethje, Dubronx, Hooker, Felder. It's like, bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's get this going, dude. That's what I'm saying. And I know I missed someone in there, but like I just did it as they came into my head. Like, bro, just keep the fucking train rolling. You know what I'm saying? Any combination of any of them.
I'm surprised they did a fucking promo for Poirier Conor for the belt.
Well, that's what they're gonna do because Conor's like big money. I saw Cormier said that they should do. I think what the fuck did he say? Like Ferguson Chandler for the belt as the co-main event to Poirier Conor for the number one contender. I was like, what?
I mean, if you turn that around, it could make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Michael Chandler, I don't know. Like, you know me, I'm Chrissy Bellator. I don't know about coming into the UFC and as not being like he didn't come into the UFC as a champion. They're going to throw him into a title fight. Like,
yeah,
breaks. But if you fucking beat Hooker, Felder, Dubronx, you're fucking fighting for the belt. You know what I mean? I'd be interested with you. It's funny to me how people are writing off Tony Ferguson. Like Gaethje soundly beat him, but you also got to remember at the end of the second round, Gaethje literally got saved by the bell, and Tony Ferguson is the boogeyman, 12-fight win streak. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't believe we got robbed of the Tony Khabib fight. Like,
don't forget, Tony came out and said, "Yo, I'm training for Khabib," and all of a sudden, I get like it's completely stylistically different matchup. Like,
and he cut weight twice.
Yeah, and cut weight twice. Like, and I haven't been a Ferguson hater per se, but I have been kind of off of his train a little bit. Like, I don't favor him in a couple fights right now, but you know, I think when he does come back, I think that there is a chance he might prove me wrong. But what do you think happens next?
I think that they make Conor.
I want Tony to get in a fight with somebody. I want Tony to fight Chandler. I think that's a great fight, but I don't want to see Tony versus Hooker or Dustin because I'm afraid that the damage that Tony took from Gaethje isn't going to translate well when you fight a great striker like either one of those guys. So I want to see Tony to either take a little bit longer of a break or fight somebody that's going to maybe grapple with him a little bit. But
okay, so real quick, last thing, end the show on this. We keep saying last thing and doing it. I'm not trying to run out of here. I'm just saying, you guys are both ready. You guys are the matchmakers. You're Sean Shelby. You're fucking McMaynard. Who fights for the vacant belt? 155. Go. All right, so you make the main and co-main. The main event is for the belt. The co-main, in a perfect world, the co-main is the number one contender.
I'm going to throw a curveball. It's never going to happen, but this is what I would do. Justin Gaethje for the belt.
I agree. I was going to say that.
Conor versus Ferguson for the number one.
I like it.
I feel like Poirier never gets his due. Like, they don't respect that much. They don't respect Tony either. But
Dustin's such a dog, dude. I love Dustin. I do not want to see him fucking fight Conor. I don't.
Actually, Matt, I'm with you. I
You
like
think that
that.
he would finish Conor, or Conor would finish Poirier?
Yeah, I
Yes.
don't think it's a good matchup for
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, I saw people shitting on Poirier online. It's not even like casual fans. Like people I follow on MMA, like MMA Twitter, quote unquote. People are saying like that they think that Dustin basically it would be like a repeat of the first fight.
No, those people are idiots and don't watch UFC. He's beat everybody convincingly.
Yeah. We'll see, boys. That's what MMA is so great because you fucking
Yeah.
find out, baby.
Dana hoping to book Stipe Francis 2 for March. So
Also, oh fuck, I didn't even say anything about Gerante Davis taking on Leo Santa Cruz. I said it last week, but Halloween, that shit's going down. That's one of the biggest boxing matches at a lighter weight class for a long time. Let's see what Tank Davis is made of. He's a pretty sizable favorite, but Leo Santa Cruz coming up a weight class again. That's why you're the fucking underdog. Taking on someone with big power like Gervonta Davis, I think if he can take him into deep waters, he's probably a pretty sizable favorite because I know a lot of casual bettors all over Tank Davis, and Mayweather's been hyping up Gervonta Davis. I want to see if I can find the line on here real fast while I'm talking. I don't know how the fuck to look through this. Matt, if you can find it, find it. But yeah, that's a big fucking fight, a big boxing match, and Alexander Usyk and the co-main. Love to see it.
Love to see it.
Also, Khamzat is a favorite over Leon Edwards now.
that doesn't
Already?
He's minus 160. Leon's plus 130. I'm betting on that now.
Yeah, I'm hammering it. Too much too soon, son.
Yeah, that's aggressive.
That's aggressive.
And I hate
aggressive.
words.
Yeah, that's aggressive. Wait,
All right,
no,
boys.
dude, according to this, they said Khamzat opened at minus 180.
Yeah, he did. He opened as a favorite.
I thought he didn't.
I thought he opened as a dog.
No, I'm positive.
Really? I thought he opened as a dog. Damn,
I
that's
don't miss that stuff. I'm a psychopath.
I had the line. I thought the other way. I thought it was the exact line opposite. But what the fuck do I know? I'm an idiot, so don't listen to anything I say.
All right.
Guys, help the boys out. Like this video, comment, and subscribe. We're literally this close to 100 subscribers. Oh, I wish 1,000. But we keep going from 93 to 95 to 96, 97, 94, 95, 93, 94, 95. Help the fucking boys out. Like, comment, subscribe. These Russian bots that comment on our videos, stop fucking subscribing. We don't want you. We want real fucking people. So help the boys out.
Person from Kazakhstan saying that you could pay her for sex or some shit, and she's on YouTube.
She always comments on our video, this bot.
Yeah, and you could
She's
do
pretty
that,
hot,
but
though.
they censor other stuff. Also, hot take, it's a good thing for MMA that could be retired.
I'll take
All right. I'm leaving this conversation.
it. All right. Do well, everyone.
Later.
Next time.